I'm Zen, and welcome to a nightcap, where we trade the day's hustle for a brief moment of reflection. Over here, we do things a little differently. I'm feeling somewhat better tonight, so my drink of choice, a nice hot cup of matcha green tea with a little turmeric in it for added spice. But hey, if you need something a little stronger, I won't judge. Tonight we're talking about a topic that's often met with mixed emotions and varying perspectives. Submission in marriage. It's a theme that carries a weight of tradition, yet sparks modern-day debates on equality and partnership. So grab your drink of choice, get comfy, and let's get into it. I was having a discussion with a group of women on the topic of submission in relationships when the thought of submitting to authority came to mind. Why is it we have a harder time submitting to our spouse whom we love than submitting to strangers or those outside of our homes? Submission in marriage. The phrase itself can evoke a spectrum of reactions, from reverence to resistance. But why is it that we sometimes struggle to submit to our spouse, the person we've chosen to share our life's journey with? Isn't love supposed to make it easier? As I ponder these questions, I'm reminded of the vulnerability inherent in marital relationships. Unlike interactions with strangers or acquaintances, marriage exposes us to the rawest parts of ourselves. We bare our souls, our hopes, and our fears to our partner, trusting that they'll cherish and respect our vulnerabilities. But in that vulnerability lies a paradox, the fear of losing control. Love isn't just about affection and admiration. It's about trust. And trust, my friends, is built on the delicate foundation of vulnerability. These stakes are higher, the emotions more intense, and the desire to maintain autonomy in the face of intimacy becomes a balancing act of heart and mind. Yet submission in marriage isn't solely about relinquishing control. It's about shared responsibility and mutual respect. It's give and take, compromise, and collaboration. And just as we submit to authority in certain contexts, we submit to our spouse out of love and reverence for the bond we forge. So why is it tougher to let go and listen to your partner than it is to follow orders from a boss or nod along with a stranger? I don't know. Maybe it's because marriage throws us into the deep end of the human emotions, the highs, the lows, and all the messy stuff in between. But you know what? Giving in to your spouse isn't about being weak. It's about showing just how much you care and how committed you are to making things work. In the Bible, the concept of submission is mentioned in various contexts, including marriage and submission to authority. For example, Colossians 3:18, "Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands as it is fitting in the Lord." Then there's Ephesians 5:21, "Submit to one another out of reverence for Christ." And what about 1 Peter 2:13 through 14? "Submit yourselves for the Lord's sake to every human authority, whether to the emperor as the supreme authority or to governors who are sent by him to punish those who do wrong and to commend those who do right." It's important to note that the biblical concept of submission in marriage also does not imply inferiority or oppression by one spouse to the other. Instead, it too emphasizes mutual respect, love, and cooperation within the marital relationship. Similarly, submission to authority is presented as a recognition of God's ordained order and a means of promoting peace and order in society. Submission in a relationship is offered out of trust, respect, and mutual understanding. It's about willingly yielding to your partner, acknowledging their needs, and nurturing a harmonious connection, and thrives in an environment of empathy, reciprocity, and emotional vulnerability. I get it. In relationships, it's about embracing vulnerability and emotional intimacy as a conscious choice. While in the realm of authority, it often involves upholding social order and adhering to governance for the greater good. Well, as we wrap up tonight's reflections, I invite you to ponder your own journey with submission in marriage. But remember, reverencing your spouse as much as you do authority is vital. If you're finding it tough to submit to your spouse, it's worth digging into why. It could be a sign that there's something deeper going on in the relationship that needs addressing. Well, until next time, embrace the beauty of vulnerability and the power of love. Good night, and thanks again for joining me in A Nightcap.